Hello and welcome to this hybrid yin yoga class where we will be flowing into stillness. And welcome back to Devi Daily Yoga, where it's not about how your yoga looks, it's all about how it feels. We're going to be exploring a different approach to the yin yoga practice today by starting out with fluid and somatic movement and then gradually moving toward that stillness that we know and love as yin. This class is designed to help you find balance and relaxation by gradually slowing down, progressing from sensual movement into longer holds. It's a great practice for when you're looking to increase flexibility, reduce stress, and cultivate a sense of inner peace. Our first pose is Ragdoll, and the practice begins now. Climbing onto hands and knees and stepping your feet to the floor, hanging your body over the legs, and finding your standing forward bend. We'll spend 3 minutes here, and we'll begin our 3-minute period with some halfway lifts by taking the hands onto the shins and lengthening the heart forward. Feeling this straight spine, this kind of energized spine. And exhaling and coming down, relaxing the spinal column and relaxing the weight of the head down. And now inhale back to the halfway lift. And exhale, come back down. And again, inhale. You can have your knees a little bit or even a lot bent here. And exhale down. And now let's explore with the feet a little bit wider, perhaps even as wide as your mat. Halfway lift, inhale, hands to the shins. And exhale down. And now taking as much time as you need to explore different widths of the feet and to keep exploring lifting and releasing. We're now 1 minute into our time. Whenever you're ready to find a place of stillness, go ahead and hold opposite elbows, relax your head down, or if you prefer to let your hands rest on the floor or just hang, that is fine as well. Knees can be straight or they can be bent to some degree. And don't worry, we're going to get to the floor right away after this. This is just about the most standing up that we're going to be doing in this practice. Taking a deep breath now. And as you exhale, feel your spine lengthening and relaxing. Feel the backs of your legs releasing, relaxing. Breathing in and breathing out. And now as we slowly come out of this, let's take one more halfway lift. This time maybe the hands on the floor, lengthening the heart, lengthening the spine, finding a little wiggle of the tail. And releasing down to child's pose, bringing the hips back to your heels. Taking 1 minute here. And feeling the rebound after forward bending, after hanging. Noticing the energy in your body. Noticing the energy in your spine, in your whole back body. And take a deep breath into the back of the body. And exhaling, soften. And slowly coming up. And now we'll come into a series of dragon pose variations, starting with the right leg forward and the hands on either side of the right foot. Our total time is 5 minutes on each side in dragon, and we'll take 1 minute for each variation, and it's your choice how much movement you'd like to do within these variations. So we can begin now with shifting the hips side to side to find just where the hips want to end up for our dragon hold. You might be palms down on the floor, or you might be like me up on the fingertips. Feeling the length in the front of the left thigh, maybe even feeling some back bend if you sink your hips down a little bit more. And steady your breath. And now shifting into twisted dragon or dragon's tail. So twisted dragon is here with the right hand on the knee, and you can explore moving the hips or pulling the foot in and holding the foot if you've got that clasp. This is dragon's tail pose. If you don't have the clasp, keep the foot down, hand on the knee. And from here, wherever you are, you could roll your shoulder back more, turn your gaze up to the sky more. Softening down through the hips, lengthening through the front of the left thigh, front of the left hip. And now releasing and taking it into gecko, both hands on the inside of the leg, letting the right knee wing out to the side, and you might stay up on straight arms or come down onto elbows. Breathing. And climbing up now, hands back to either side of the foot, and then climbing them right up on top of the knee for our most upright dragon, where we'll get the most back bending sensation, especially if we bring the ribs back in space and bring the shoulders back in space. And finding your sense of softness here as much as you can, even though there's some activity involved. There's some balancing involved. There's a little bit of leg strength just to hold yourself upright. Inhaling where you are. Crown of the head rises up. Exhale, relaxing through the legs, thighs, hips. And now bringing the hands to the floor, shift your hips back, taking it into half split. Shifting our focus now to lengthening the hamstrings. And wiggle your tail here side to side a couple times. And you can walk the hands farther forward or find some wave-like motions of the spine if it feels good. Eventually settling into a position that feels good to breathe into for the last half a minute. Now stepping forward once again to the lunge and tuck your back toes. Step back into downward dog. Taking a moving dog, walk the legs, press one heel down, bend the opposite knee, and switch sides. And bending the other side once again, and again the second side. And now let's take it into dragon on the second side, bending both knees to the ground. Step your left leg forward, square the hips, and take the hand onto either side of the front foot. Soften down through the right hip and through the front of the right thigh. Open the chest forward, pull the heart forward. And breathe in. Breathe out. Taking it now into dragon twist or dragon's tail. Walk your left foot out to the left side. Plant your right hand down. Turning on the hips, left hand on top of the knee, or option to bend up the back foot and hold the foot. Finding the back bend, whichever variation you're in, opening the chest, bringing the skull back in space, and softening the right hip forward and down toward the earth. Inhaling deep, exhale, come back and take the hands down into gecko. You can stay up on straight arms as you wing out the left knee, or come all the way down onto the elbows. Breathe in. And as you breathe out, soften the hips. And slowly now coming up, hands to either side of the foot, and then climbing them right up on top of the knee. Lifting up through the low ribs, rolling the shoulders back, and then bringing the whole torso back in space, bringing the base of the skull back in space. And feeling this balance of effort and ease in the legs. The front leg is your primary balance here, your left foot on the floor. Keep on relaxing down through the front of your the front of your right thigh and the front of your right hip. And inhale deep. With the exhale, frame the front foot with your hands and shift the hips back half split, drawing the left toes back toward you. And wiggle your tail, bring the hips side to side, feeling these wonderfully different hamstring stretches as you take your hips from one position to the other. And then finding some wave-like positions of the spine. sensing into all the ways this body can move within this general shape, and eventually settling into a place of stillness. Bring the front foot on the floor, back into a lunge, tuck the back toes, and step back, this time into plank, hovering shoulders over the hands. Inhale the breath here. And as you exhale, drop your knees, come all the way down onto your belly, and rest with the forehead on top of stacked hands, crocodile pose. 1 minute for our rebound here. And hearing the sound of your own breath in this position as it resonates against your chest, against your heart, your throat. Feel the sensations in your hips. Feel your legs. After doing lots of dragon variations, that was 10 minutes of dragon pose. And now bringing the hands to either side of the chest, coming into cobra lifts. We're going to have 3 minutes in a cobra and seal exploration. Cobra, sphinx, and seal. So we begin with movement by lifting up. You decide how high, see what feels good on your spine, and slowly roll it back down. And as you come down, find a wider position of your hands and press back up. Moving the spine in this sensual, fluid way as you roll back down. Now try this with the fingertips on the ground, palms lifted, lifting up, and exhaling back down. And now the hands come in front of you, lift up, and exhale down. And now tenting the fingertips in front of you. Inhale. Exhale down. And now elbows to the earth and lifting up into Sphinx, which might just feel really good at this point to hang out in Sphinx. Or if you want to come into a higher still position, here's your seal pose with arms out in front, or a closer position with hands more in toward the body. Your choice where to rest, or if you'd like to continue with a bit more movement exploration till you find the place you want to be still. Breathe here. I know many of you are most comfortable down on the elbows. I always find myself in this seal pose, primarily because my arms are quite short proportionally, so I just don't get much out of Sphinx. But don't feel just because I'm in seal that that's where you should be. Wherever you are, deep breath into the body. Crown of the head rises. As you exhale, your legs relax, your hips relax, your lower back softens. breathing in. As you exhale, slowly bring it back down and press the hips up and back into child's pose, resting in child for 1 minute. Place the arms in front of you, palms holding the earth. Sitting bones stretch back toward the heels. And now take a deep breath into the whole back body, puffing up the area of the back ribs. Exhale, lengthening the spine, softening the spine into the body, wiggling the hips side to side in child's pose. And coming up to hands and knees, taking it into thread the needle, taking this exploration perhaps into rolling panda. It's going to be your choice. Let's start with the knees a little bit wider than hips width. And right hand roots down on the floor as you lift your left arm up and inhale. Now exhale, gliding, left arm slides under the right and twisting upper body. And we're going to come right back up, inhaling, opening up. And exhale, bring it down, bring it through once again. And inhale, open it up. Exhale, thread it through. Excuse me, my mic is doing something weird. Okay. Exhale, thread it through. And this time, let's tuck the toes of the right foot, straightening the right leg out at a comfortable angle like a kickstand. As you now open it up, inhale, feeling this line of length between your left fingertips and your right foot. Now we exhale and slide under, keeping this foot in the kickstand position. So your hips are a little more freed up. This is our rolling panda option. I'm going to open it up once again, actually twice again. Exhale, sliding, threading it under. And last time, inhale. And exhale. Now we can stay in your choice of rolling panda with the foot out. Maybe the right hand comes up more straight, palm on the floor, or both knees to the ground for thread the needle, which is where I'm going to stay today because that's feeling more like what my back needs. So they slightly change the stretch in the back, whichever of these you choose to be in. And just where is your tension today? They're really essentially the same pose, just kind of different angles of the body. So wherever you are, take a deep breath in and exhale, softening the spine into the twist, feeling the stretch of the left upper back, back of the left shoulder. Breathing in and breathing out. And unwinding, coming back to hands and knees, making your way to the other side. Starting out with knees a little wider than the hips. Lift your right arm up, inhale, and exhale, thread it under and through. Side of the head to the ground. Inhale, opening up. Reach the fingertips high, and exhale, slide it under. Third time, inhale. And exhale, threading it under. Side of the head to the ground as you now take your left foot out like a kickstand and root down into that back foot as you lift your right arm back up. Inhale, finding this long line. If it's difficult, then take your left foot farther back toward your other foot. Good. Exhale, glide it under. And inhale, open it up. Exhale, threading through. Inhale, open up. Last time here. And exhale, settling as you thread through, staying here or bending so both knees are on the ground. Back of the shoulder blade on the right side, stretching. Upper spine twisting. Side of the neck on the right side, lengthening. Breathe into the whole body. As you exhale, softening the spine, softening the shoulders. See if you can surrender into this position a little bit more. Breathing with what you're feeling. Slowly releasing. Make your way back to hands and knees and then into child's pose. 1 minute in child's pose. And after all of this twisting of the upper body that we've just done, now feeling the spine at center, head and neck at center, feel the shoulders, feel the energy here in the whole upper extremity, arms and hands. Breathe into the upper back, back of the shoulders. Exhale. Slowly coming up and sitting to one side of your feet, taking it into wide legs for some dragonfly pose explorations. So beginning with a straight up dragonfly, just coming forward. Hands can be on the floor, elbows on the floor, whatever your body wants to do right now. About 1 minute here. Breathe into your back. And exhale. And breathe into your inner thighs. And exhale. And inhale, lengthen your spine up. And as you exhale, roll the spine back down. Inhale, lengthen the spine up. And as you exhale, roll back down and veer toward your right, taking the right hand onto, or taking both hands onto the leg. Hanging out here now for one more minute in a side stretching dragonfly. If this is in any way uncomfortable for you, you could bend this back foot in and make it more like a half butterfly instead. And from here, place the hands on the floor on either side of your leg. Lift your heart, lengthen your spine, lift your ribs forward, and exhale, soften back down. Relax the head and the shoulders. Inhale, lift up and lengthen. And exhale back down. Inhale, lift and lengthen. And exhale back down. Take your right hand now onto the leg or the foot, whatever you reach here, as your elbow comes to the inside of the knee, and peel your left shoulder back, open the left side of the chest. And here's our side bend. If this is too intense for you, you can lift up and don't worry about the hooking of the elbow and just take a side bend. And now let this left hand come behind the back to find more length, more stretch between the left ear and the left shoulder. Breathe. Take the left arm up into the air now, reaching up, inhale. And as you exhale, take it across, and maybe you reach the foot easily, but if you don't reach the foot easily, then take the hand behind the head. And if your hand is behind the head, you have a nice opportunity to press your skull back in space and draw your left elbow back in space. And this can energize the back body. Option to also take the right hand behind the head, so you kind of have this lounging, relaxed position, hands clasped behind the head. Those of you holding the foot, you can use the leverage of the hand against the foot to get the same action. Breathing in and breathing out. And let's find our way back through the center, hands to the earth, and veer over the left leg. Keep the chest facing toward the leg. Breathing now into the right side of the spine. And with your inhale, wave-like motion of the spine, lifting up, lifting through the ribs. Exhale, roll back down. And inhale, lift the spine, lengthen the front ribs forward. And exhale down. Bowing the forehead toward the leg, and inhale, lift up, lengthen the heart, and exhale, this time soften, settle down. And now left elbow inside the leg, maybe your peace sign fingers around your big toe, or whatever kind of clasp works, as you roll your right shoulder open. And take the right hand behind the back, lengthening the right side of the neck. And breathe in. Breathe out. Feel the whole right side of your body lengthening, right ribs, right waist. Take the right arm up now and all the way over, maybe to the foot, maybe to the back of the head. And now pressing the back of the skull into the right hand as you draw your right elbow back in space. And to take the left hand to the back of the head as well, optionally. Or if you're holding the foot, then pressing the heart through with both arms straight. Steady breathing. Lengthen the whole right side of your torso. One more deep breath in here. And exhaling, releasing. Hands to the earth, come back to center. One more minute here in a centered dragonfly. Notice how this minute of dragonfly feels differently from that first minute. Feeling a stretch in the inner thighs, inner legs. Slowly now coming up and slowly coming all the way onto your back for a rebound. Ooh, 1 minute on the back. Take any comfortable position to feel the effects of working into the groin area, which correlates with the liver meridian and the kidney meridian. Deep breath in. Exhale. Bend your knees now, hug them into your chest. Wrap the arms around the legs, gently rock side to side, lengthening your lower back near the floor. And let's roll onto one side, coming up to take deer or swan pose. So here's how this is going to look. Left foot in front of you with the shin parallel to the front edge of the mat. And your back knee might be in this position or farther up, or it might come all the way back. So what we're exploring today is, instead of our pigeon or sleeping swan where we often bring the foot in, we're instead allowing some asymmetry in the hips so that we can get this right angle of the knee, and exploring from here. When we have this back knee bent, this is called deer pose. As we come down, we can angle the torso in different directions, beginning now with wide hands, and let the heart come down over the knee. And exploring as we now take the hands a little more to the right, so we come heart toward the middle of the shin. A couple of times up and down. And now, if possible, it's getting a little tight for me to go much farther, but maybe you come toward the foot. And see where your torso wants to end up, or begin to, if you're just not getting the stretch you want here, and by the way, we're stretching the glutes on the left side, If you want to find something different, you can explore lengthening this back leg, maybe somewhat or maybe completely. And again, we can explore these different angles of the torso, up and down. So we're almost doing like our cobra pose lifts that we did earlier, but here in a sleeping swan position. And maybe you come a little farther down, do a little hunting with your torso. What's the exact angle that makes my left glutes super happy right now? And something about this pose that I'm remembering right now is if you have a blanket under you or something that's not sticky, then the front foot really wants to keep sliding back. So I'm going to get myself stickied up. Oh, there we go. Yes. Wherever you are, breathe into this body, breathe into these hips, and exhale. Slowly now coming back up, and other side, we can just bring the right leg around to the front and bend the left leg, and finding this parallel with the front edge of the mat situation once again, and begin to come down over your knee. Nice wide hands pulsing up and down. A couple of times over the knee, and now take it to mid-shin or slightly toward your left and come down a couple of times once again. Our target here is the right glutes, and maybe over the foot more if it's in your range of motion to go any farther. Option to extend the back leg somewhat or completely as you continue to explore and hunt around. But today, different than usual, we're keeping the front shin parallel if possible. If you just find that doesn't do it for your glutes, then you could go to a different version of Sleeping Swan that's more familiar. And it's feeling so good to just kind of veer around and explore. So continue it as long as it feels good. Settle into stillness when you feel ready. Breathing where you are. Feeling into the right hip. And slowly now coming back up. And slowly bring the back leg to the front, settle onto your back, taking a rebound, 1 minute. Find a comfortable position on your back. Here we go. Bend the knees and draw them in, gently rocking side to side. Coming into spinal twist with both knees over to the right. Extend your left arm out to the left. Place the right hand on the knees. And inhale. Exhale and extend way out through the left fingers, maybe even turning the gaze or turning the head toward the hand. And now moving into a fluid movement called rainbow twist. I've called it rainbow twist. Left hand just trickles along the ground as you bring it up over the head. And stays on the ground as you continue tracing the shape of a rainbow above your head on the floor, all the way to the side. And now just pull this elbow in as you roll your forehead to the ground. And reversing the shape of the rainbow, left hand comes out in front of you, traces back over the head, and all the way back out to the left side. Inhale deep. And let's do that again. Fingertips tracing above the ground. And slowly coming over, rolling forehead to the ground as you pull left elbow in. And reverse it, tracing the ground, left fingertips. All the way out to the left side. Inhale. And continuing last time, as slow as you want to go with this. And open it back up, tracing all the way back out. And stay here in the twist. Option to cross left knee over the right if you wish. Breathe steadily and smoothly. And bring your knees back up to the center. And slowly shift to the second side. Extend your right arm out to the right side. And inhale, reach through the right fingertips, turn the gaze all the way to the side. And now continuing into the rainbow twist, tracing arm above the head, hand along the ground until you come all the way onto your left side. Roll the left forehead toward the ground and inhale, trace all the way up and back. All the way out to the right side. Once again, trace above the head. All these wonderful little micro stretches in the shoulder feel so good. Rolling on the side. And now all the way back up over the head, tracing, tracing, out to the right. And bring it back around. I think that's the last time. I'm getting kind of blissed out here, so we did 3 times on the other side. No, I think we got to do it one more time. All the way up over the head. Take your time. I've been doing this for years and I decided to give it a name, Rainbow Twist. Oh, I think now we're doing it too many times. So we open it back out to the right and now we hold the pose. Option to cross the knees or just keep them stacked on top of each other. And breathe. Knees come back up to the center as you release now. Find your way into Shavasana, final relaxation. Make yourself comfortable on your back. Star pose if you want to spread all the way out, or any version of relaxation on your back. And now total stillness after all of our contrasting movement and stillness. Now the outer body is calm, even though there may be quite a bit of sensation and activity inside, quite a bit of energy moving as a result of this practice. Your breath filling your body, filling and emptying. Notice what's tingling in your body. What kinds of vibrations do you feel? Where do you feel it? And now inhale deeply. And as you exhale, bend your knees and gently, slowly move to roll over onto the side and pause on your side. Taking a breath here. And now make your way up into seated meditation. Use a cushion under your seat if you'd like, sitting with the spine tall. And feel the effects of this practice. Feel what's still moving inside of you, even while the body sits in stillness. See if you can sense the breath moving inside, even though the breath is so slowed down now. Can you follow the path of a breath from the nostrils all the way in through the throat, into the heart? Can you follow the path of a breath from the heart, through the throat, and back out through the nostrils? And from the Radiance Sutras, Sutra 41, as you continue to sit quietly, I'll read to you this beautiful sutra on the breath. Breathing is the flow of the divine, where the rhythms of life turn into each other, the eternal exchange. Pour one breath into the other, out breath into the in breath, into the out breath. Awaken to equanimity, at peace in the play of opposites. And now feeling how much energy a breath can bring into your body, how much length upwards of your spine, how much aliveness to your hands, your arms, your feet, and your legs. as we begin to transition, stretching out into arms, finding any movements of the spine, the shoulders that feel good in this moment. Maybe the head rolling side to side. And now placing the palms together in front of the heart to chant Om 3 times to close our session. We'll begin with a full breath in and an exhale. And now inhale. And this is the close of today's fluid practice. Thank you so much for spending your time on the mat with me today. I hope you enjoyed this, and if you did, please leave me a note below. I love to connect with you all in the comments. And hit the thumbs up and subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell so that you hear about my next video. Thanks again. I look forward to seeing you in the next practice.